Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into an absolutely epic sci-fi story today. We're talking unimaginable betrayal, a civilization literally pushed to the absolute brink of extinction, and just this overwhelming tale of galactic redemption. It's a massive narrative about what happens when the literal saviors of the universe are just tossed into the dark, only to be called upon when the lights go out one last time. The erased humanity from the stars. Then one forgotten distress signal changed everything. Honestly, that sets such a perfectly somber and mysterious tone for our journey today. Just imagine it, an entire species, a whole history, just completely wiped from the records. No trace left. It's a super gripping premise, so let's drop right into the action and figure out exactly why that distress signal had to be sent in the first place.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, an unstoppable ancient threat.
So picture this. The Galactic Council, which oversees literally trillions of worlds and millions of civilizations, is staring down the barrel of immediate, apocalyptic annihilation. They are up against an unstoppable, totally mysterious force known only as the Silence. Nobody knows where they came from. Nobody knows what they want. They just consume everything in their path. We're talking endless black machines possessing weapons capable of literally extinguishing suns. And worst of all, they adapt way faster than any defense can possibly respond. I mean, for 3 whole centuries, the galaxy has fought this threat, and for 3 centuries, they've been losing hard. The final defensive line has completely collapsed, and the capital itself is mere days away from falling. Council Elder Ress is left with absolutely 0 options.
Section 2, the Great Galactic Betrayal.
Right when all hope seems completely lost, an ancient archivist in the council chamber activates this dusty old hologram. While alarms are just screaming across the capital, a symbol pops up on the projector. It's a blue planet, a golden eagle, and a single word that absolutely shocks the room: humanity. Now, the lore behind this is wild. 5,000 years ago, humanity literally saved the galaxy from a totally different machine empire. They sacrificed billions of lives, entire human worlds, just to protect the council. But then, get this, exactly 1 year later, fearful politicians decided humanity had grown a little too powerful, so they deliberately deleted their saviors from the galactic archive. Every single name, every achievement, erased, turned into a forgotten fairy tale. Fast forward to 300 years ago, and the Silence shows up. And now, present day, with the capital about to fall, the archivist projects these deeply classified, hidden records, revealing Earth's last known coordinates.
5,000 years. Really let that number sink in for a second. I want to punch this point home because it represents the sheer, staggering scale of humanity's abandonment. For 5 millennia, Earth was left entirely alone in the dark. The Council just assumed the humans would eventually die out in isolation. They took their absolute greatest guardians and turned them into nothing more than a forgotten legend. Which brings us to Section 3, Earth's unimaginable evolution. Armed with those last known coordinates, Commander Vex leads a totally desperate expedition across uncharted space, way beyond every mapped star. At first, they think they're looking at a star, then maybe a planet, but they quickly realize that Earth didn't just survive its 5,000 years of isolation, it evolved. And what Vex finds highlights this massive, massive shift in power. Look at the staggering contrast here. On one side, the Galactic Council is desperate, losing a 300-year war with their capital actively collapsing. But on the other side, Earth is completely wrapped in glowing armor. It literally has gigantic engines circling the equator and shipyards the size of moons orbiting overhead. It is a terrifyingly calm, heavily armed, moving planetary fortress. And the defense force? We're not talking millions, billions. There are literally billions of warships surrounding the world. When Earth's colossal defenses activate and weapons larger than human cities emerge from the oceans, the alien expedition suddenly realizes a terrifying truth. Humanity could easily conquer the entire galaxy in a matter of weeks if they actually wanted to. Moving on to Section 4, the unconditional choice. So Commander Vex stands before humanity's leader, Grand Admiral Elena Ward, just pleading for help. He explains the war, the destruction, the threat of extinction, and just the sheer desperation of the Council. And Elena Ward, she listens quietly, looks at the aliens, and drops this bombshell. The Silence has returned. We fought them before. She then projects these ancient holograms showing human fleets fighting those exact same endless black machines. Turns out, the Silence isn't a new enemy at all. It's older than recorded history. Humanity defeated it once at a terrible cost, and they have spent the last 5,000 years in absolute isolation specifically preparing for the day it would inevitably return. Let's pause and really reflect on this for a second because it's huge. Vex completely admits to the betrayal. He admits they erased humanity's names, forgot their sacrifices, and literally left them alone in the dark. But rather than seeking vengeance, Admiral Ward just smiles and delivers this absolute mic drop line. Humanity does not protect people because they deserve it. We protect them because it's right. I mean, wow. This right here is the thematic core of the story. It's this powerful real-world lesson of unconditional duty. Even after facing the ultimate betrayal, humanity's moral compass remained completely unbroken.
Section 5. Unleashing the Aegis Core.
Meanwhile, back at the Capitol, time is officially up. The silence has arrived. Their black armada covers entire solar systems, and the remaining defenders are basically just bracing for extinction. But then, space itself shatters. One blue portal opens, then 10, then 1,000. Literally 1,000,000 portals open up across the stars, and endless silver fleets flood the battlefield. We are talking Titan-sized carriers, planet-killer battleships, and weapons capable of bending reality itself. Humanity advances against the black beams of the silence, completely unstoppable, utterly fearless, and totally relentless against the Dark Armada.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what they spent 5,000 years building. While the fleets hold the line, humanity unleashes a device hidden within Earth itself, the Aegis Core. It's this massive superweapon powered by the energy of actual stars. It happens mechanically in 3 steps. First, every single human ship synchronizes instantly. Second, the Aegis Core activates, sending this massive blue wave expanding across the galaxy. And third, every weapon fires as one, leading to the absolute, total erasure of the enemy.
13. That is the number of hours it took. Seriously, after millions of years of terror across the universe and a grueling 300-year losing war that destroyed countless civilizations, humanity completely erased the silence in just 13 hours. The enemy was gone, completely, forever. For the very first time in its entire existence, the silence felt fear, and then it was no more.
Which leads us to our final section, number 6, the galaxy remembers.
The final battle is over. The galaxy has survived. Again, because of humanity. Again. Months later, representatives from literally every single species gather before Earth to tune in to a massive, historic broadcast. Trillions are watching. Commander Vex steps forward to unveil a brand new orbital monument, and it's larger than any structure ever built. It simply reads, "To humanity, the species that saved the galaxy twice, we will remember." It is the ultimate proof that humanity's name and their immense sacrifices will never, ever be erased again. Grand Admiral Ward looks out to the stars, knowing full well that humanity never actually needed the gratitude or the monument, right? They fought because it was their duty. But it really forces us to ask ourselves, do we do what is right for the promise of recognition, or simply because it is right? It's a pretty profound question about our own human psychology, tying this epic sci-fi narrative right back to how we live our lives every single day. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll leave you to ponder that thought.